Continue. Mr. Speaker, I rise this morning to highlight some statistics in relation to crime in Bermuda, in addition to the acknowledgement and thanking those agencies who have played a significant role in what we now see as a reduction in crime overall. However, before I do that, I would first like to remind this Honorable House of a statement that I made on November 17, 2017, in which I stated that this government promised the people of Bermuda that we will give reducing gang violence the priority that it deserves. And I believe we are, and I believe we have, and we will continue to do just that as we work to reduce crime. Mr. Speaker, I am happy to report the following. In 2016, there were 3,576 offenses recorded for all crime. For this year, up to and including December 7th, 2019, there were 2,977 offenses recorded for all crime. That is a difference of 599 offenses. Overall, Mr. Speaker, crime is down. In 2016, there were 740 offenses recorded for crime against the persons, which include murder, manslaughter, serious assaults and other assaults, sexual assaults, robbery, offenses against children, and indecency. For this year, up to and including December 7, 2019, there were 635 offenses recorded against persons. That is a difference of 105 offenses. It should be noted that one of the main contributors to the decrease was the crime category of robbery, which according to the Bermuda Police Service was 81 offenses for 2016, and presently there are 37 offenses, a difference of 44 offenses. Mr. Speaker, in relation to crimes against the community, which include firearm offenses, other weapon offenses, disorder offenses, antisocial behavior, and animal offenses, I note that in 2016, there were 408 offenses in relation to crimes against the community. For this year and up to including December 7th, there are 462 offenses, which is an increase of 54 offenses. The main contributing factor for the increase was the antisocial behavior, which was 286 offenses in 2016, which is presently at 325 for 2019. However, Mr. Speaker, it is important to note that last year, 2018, antisocial behavior had risen by 398 offenses. The Commissioner and his senior management team, based on that statistic and other factors, decided to create a tactical operational division which was led by a superintendent to address antisocial behavior and gang violence. With the support of other agencies, such as the Interagency Gang Enforcement Team, the Interagency Community Response Team, and other agencies working together, I can report for 2019, the figure for antisocial behavior has decreased and now stands at 325 offenses as of December 7th, 2019. Mr. Speaker, in relation to crimes against property, there has been a significant decrease, which includes residential burglary, non-residential burglary, criminal damage, motor vehicle theft, theft of property, and fraud and deception. In 2016, there were 2,428 crimes against property. For this year, up until and including December 7th, there have been 1,880 crimes against property. The contributing factor to the decrease is that residential burglaries have dropped significantly. In 2016, there were 551 residential burglaries. Thus far, for this year, up until December 7th, there were 245 residential burglaries, a difference of 306 offenses. Mr. Speaker, as it relates to firearm incidents, it has been reported by the Bermuda Police Service that comparing 2016 to 2019, thus far we have seen a 57% decrease in firearm incidents. A firearm incident is classified in 3 categories: confirmed, unconfirmed, and recovery of a firearm or ammunition. The last confirmed discharge of a firearm as of December 7th occurred on the 3rd of October 2019. Mr. Speaker, as of December 10th, 2019, there has been a considerable increase in arrests compared in previous years. The Bermuda Police Service has recorded 3,362 arrests this year compared to last year when the number recorded was 2,728. This is largely due to the decrease of the ILEAN, or the electronic tablet used by frontline police officers, which facilitates a considerable increase in warrant arrests. The implementation of this device was in February of this year. Mr. Speaker, I do recognize there are still just under 3 weeks left in this year. However, I feel it necessary not only to inform this honorable House that the fact that crime overall continues to decrease, but more importantly, to thank those responsible for help making Bermuda safer. The men and women of the Bermuda Police Service, the Reserve Police Force, and Bermuda police staff, we say thank you. I recognize that the job you have is not an easy one. We want to say thank you. We can see the first fruits of your labor, especially when you put victims and crime first. To the Interagency Gang Task Force, we thank you. This group continues to provide an overall coordination and execution of the strategy to reduce gang violence. To the Interagency Gang Enforcement Team, the IGET, thank you. This group, which includes the Bermuda Police Service, the Bermuda Department of Corrections, the Department of Immigration, the Bermuda Education Department, Bermuda Customs, MIRAS, the Department of Court Services, and the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. They continue to meet regularly and share intelligence that is focused on suppressing gang violence. Mr. Speaker, additionally, the Gang Violence Reduction Team is heavily embedded into the IGET. The work that this team does in relation to violent and antisocial behavior by our at-risk youth, and in addition to adults, serves to complement the insight from the IGET in the suppression of gang violence and antisocial and gang-related behavior. And finally, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the community stakeholders, too numerous to name. I recognize the key role played by each one of these organizations. Mr. Speaker, I'm reminded by the phrase, violence beget violence. And this phrase has been used since 1830. Mr. Speaker, returning to my roots, it is also a concept that is described in the Gospel of Matthew, verse 26, verse 52. The passage depicts a disciple drawing a sword to defend against the arrest of Jesus. But he was told to sheathe his weapon. Jesus said, "Put back your sword in its place, for all who draw the sword will die by the sword." Mr. Speaker, members of this honorable House, overall crime is down, firearm incidents are down, robberies are down, antisocial behavior is down, and I stand here to thank all the agencies and persons who continue to work to make Bermuda safe. And I want everyone to know that this government, and more importantly, the Ministry of National Security, will not rest on its laurels. We will continue to seek the support of all of our community stakeholders. And finally, Mr. Speaker, as we enter into this festive Christmas season and recognizing this time of year is one of socializing with family and friends, I encourage everyone to enjoy themselves in a safe and responsible manner. Mr. Speaker, I just wanted to take one time to just read another line item here. In 2016, there were 5 firearm fatalities. In 2017, there were 3 firearm fatalities. In 2018, there were 3 firearm fatalities. In 2019, there have been 0 firearm fatalities. And Mr. Speaker, we're crossing our fingers and prayerful that it stays that way for the indefinite future.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.